12, and yes, this is the third time I had to record this. And also, there is no containment um, for this week. No containment progress. Anyways, I thought I might as well go into this with a tour, that is. So let's do that. Now, you may wonder, why is this like this? And that's because we're still just starting out. We just started putting in the necessary components for this to work regarding moving your character around and stuff. So we're going to go over everything. Now, if you're wondering, we're going to start from here. And this is the physics course. Now, what is the physics course? Physics course is basically a shooting range where, and if you're wondering why the grass and everything is like this, bare and everything, it's because of the fact that I'm on data right now, not on a main connection, which makes things hard, but I have no choice. So there's that. Anyways, as you can see here, there are boxes lined up. Now what these boxes are, they're supposed to be physics-based. And when I say physics-based, I mean physics-based. So there's that. Anyways, the physics only gets activated when you shoot the boxes. So it applies force to the boxes when a bullet hits it. And for GP, or good purpose, there's a button here you can use to regenerate these boxes. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. This here is the racetrack. And yes, we're using the same racetrack parts from the Roblox tutorial back in 2015. The one that I remember learning about, or 2014, whichever one. The one that I was learning about to actually learn Lua. So there's that. And what this is here is a regen area, where if you press one of these buttons, it'll regenerate the corresponding vehicle. And why is that important? Well, it's important because without this, you wouldn't be able to do much. Let's be honest here. We want to make sure that the vehicles are regenerated whenever you want to come back in or whatnot, or if you get stuck and you want to start over. So there's that. Now remember, when you do regenerate these buttons, it will reset the clock and everything. So yeah. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Now this is the information and quartermaster booths. Quartermaster is where you get to unlock weapons from the unlock screen using QPs, just like you would do in standard, classic, or lifeline, but not standard though. Standard is gone. We're replacing that, of course. And yeah. Now, what does this symbolize in the back? The weapons and the attachments. So the weapons are what you unlock, and the attachments here can be unlocked if they meet certain requirements. For example, they have to match any weapon that is similar. So, for example, the AG-36 and the AGC as attachments match the AGC as an individual weapon. That's right, there are such things as that. Just like the M320 matches the XM320. So that's what I'm referring to. Anyways, let's go on to the next one. And the info booth is basically where you can find out certain information about this mode and also others as well, just so you know. This is the uniform center. This is where you'll get certain pieces of gear and your uniform, as well as your unit, depending on which thing you select. And you'll be able to select from multiple units, basically, from these uniform givers. Because here's the deal. There's more than one unit or department for each unit. Basically, what I'm saying here is that the uniforms represent the units and departments or subunits that actually, the player can pick up and use. So, for example, you have marksman, sabotage marksman, and scout marksman for this one. That's a Robloxian ranger. This is a technician. He has many different types of crewmen under his belt, such as artillery, vehicle, naval, pilot, and gunner crewmen. This, right here, is the Republic or Robloxian officer. What does he do, you may wonder? Well, this officer here represents the commanding personnel, the medic personnel, constructive personnel, the assistant personnel, and the gunsmith, of course. These are all personnel units. Then you've got this guy, the infantryman. Now, despite it not showing anything, I think it's because I'm on data and it's not really loading that well. There is a uniform for this and it does work. It's just that it's not showing up due to the data not being able to load it properly or timing out. But basically, this guy represents the infantry, support infantry second class, which is a designated marksman, and also naval infantry and specialized infantry. Naval infantry is, as you guessed it, Marines. So there's that. Now this area is the launcher range. This is where you launch weapons that will blow up the walls. Yep, just like that you will see going across. And to regenerate the walls, you just press this button here with the interaction, and bam, it works. Next up, we have the grenade basket range. Now I'm going to demonstrate this one to you just slightly, just because I can. Now basically what that was just throwing grenades at the basket. If it hits the basket, you'll most likely destroy the basket. And you're only getting heavy explosive or high explosive grenades and heat grenades. Yes, there is such thing as a heat grenade. It's anti-tank grenade. And there's only one in the game. However, there is a such thing as the high explosive grenade. And you also have fragmentation grenades, but we're not giving out fragmentation due to the fact that those will not destroy the baskets. And they will make this regen button for those baskets here pointless. Anyways, let's move on. So the next place, as you can see here, is the Armory Library. And yes, it also has problems just like the other place did. But basically these lockers here are for changing individual weapons. So individual slots inside of that unit is what you're going to change with those lockers. You go to your corresponding locker, you find the weapon that you need, and yes, they represent all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 classes. All 18. Just counting to make sure because I forgot. Now, this bench here is mainly for aesthetics. You can't sit on it, obviously, because that would break the game a little bit if it's not properly constrained. And there are lights here. Anyways, let's move on. Next up, we have the range. This is where you would go like this. Basically, you shoot the targets. And yes, we chose these targets because they best fit what we're looking for here. And there you go. As you can see, we cannot use the main keys just yet. We still have to fix that. But other than that, everything is good. And voila. There you have it, the tour of the entire training facility or practice area. Now, for the next segment, we're going to go over the progress that we made this week and what we want to do in the future. So, we did this, of course, but we also did some work on Lifeline. We added a new map called Rodskin Desert, and we also made sure that we got it to work with multiple players, meaning more than 2. And we also fixed the falling stars and the stars themselves. Now, why is that important? It's part of the game now. You wouldn't want to get rid of it the way we did. Anyways, that's not important. And another thing we've done is we've made sure that the game works, basically. But we've also made sure that Smithery is working as well. And the reason why I say Smithery is because Smithery is in quite a dire need of work. And the thing about it is that makes it need the work. It's the fact that a lot of things don't work like they used to anymore. Like the testing mode. For example, we had issues with testing out the classic mode on Smithery. We've had issues with that. We managed to get in, but there were like problems such as the slide on pistols not going back into its original position, the effects not playing, etc., etc. I am committed to working on that and making sure that will work in the next devlog or 2. However, I cannot guarantee that due to the fact that some things are just harder to debug than others. And the next thing I want to talk about in that regard is that we also managed to change up a few things that needed work as well, such as the selection box. Felt that the selection box was a bit outdated, so we needed to change that. We use highlight now, and that works fine as long as it does its job. And yeah, that's basically it. Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. we did pretty good considering the circumstances, but it wasn't enough to get us to work on containment at the end of the week. So that's a bummer. But next week, hopefully, there should be a different outcome. And rest assured, I will work towards that. Anyways, guys, my name is Erdos12. If you like the video, you can like it. If you don't have to. If you want, you can also subscribe because I'm going to have a devlog out every week, as you can see. And yeah, cheers.